Right. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry about that. I was like, oh God, I can't click over. I couldn't find the actual I couldn't find the actual window. A bit too many in there. All right, so let's dive into things right now. CPI for Swiss actually came in at a negative. It was already expected to be a little bit lower, and not only did it not hold, it just dropped by like the slightest little bit. Again, a little bit of a grind in there. Again, no weak or no strength whatsoever coming in on the Swiss. It, Overall, I would say that the trajectory really didn't change much. You didn't really see too much in there that I was concerned about. The movement was a little bit strange. Like I said, it was you know, not the I don't know, not the I was gonna say not the reaction that you would like to see, but it was the reaction that it really deserves. So it is what it is. And then the Jolts data comes in at 10 o'clock today. So the Jolts data is the big thing that we're looking for today. Um, that's going to be obviously the forefront. They did make a little bit of a revision yesterday. It was supposed to tick up just a little tiny bit. Now it's supposed to tick down just a smidge. And I don't know if that really changes. I don't know. That little smidge that they changed, I don't think changes too much. Maybe if it drops down to 8 million or maybe 8.5 or something like that, the market's like, yeah, you know, that labor market's under control. But I feel like, if it ticks up whatsoever, there's going to be some questions about it. Now, funny enough, then we see Bostic data, or not data, but comments, right? Fed's hawkish stance bolsters dollar, right? So Bostic is back to his I don't want to say strange ways, but yeah, right. I want us to hold rates steady for a long time. Now, the Fed's been saying for a while that they were going to take rates to restricted level and then hold it for quite some time there until it got back down until they squashed entrenched inflation. So that's not a new statement, but it's odd coming out of him because then his next statement, right? Actually, I guess the other one was the first one. The Fed still has a ways to go to get inflation back to target, right? Now, does that mean that we need to raise a little bit more? Um, Holding it for a long time, what does that really mean? Right? What does that mean? Do you want something different? Um, so what does that kind of really mean? I don't know. I really don't know. Um, I think that's the big question, right? Um, what Bostic truly says, I think is he's one of the hardest people to understand, right? Typically, you kind of understand the side that people are on and what they're looking to do. But Bostic, you know, I don't know. We got a long ways to go. We should, but we shouldn't raise. We should just hold it here for a long time. Um, he's kind of all over the map. Like, today it's, you take these statements and you're like, is this hawkish? Is this not? I mean, he's a yellow for a reason because it's really, really hard to understand what exactly he's trying to get out, right? So, again, I think the JOLTS data today is more important than a lot of the other data releases. The hot labor, and again, the quote, hot labor market has been a problem. They've really, really been focusing on, again, labor is way too strong, way too strong. JOLTS is really the gauge of that one. Last week we heard, hey, listen, we're not going to really, they're not going to pay attention to core PCE because that doesn't really matter right now. It's not the main driving factor. And again, maybe some of that was energies, maybe some of that was the labor market, but JOLTS will be a big one, right? Once this inflationary thing is under control, and we're not in a quote, oh my God, inflation is being driven by this hot labor market. JOLTS will probably disappear. Nobody will ever look at it again, right? It was one of those like hidden releases that some people looked at, but the end of the day, one of those things that's like, it's whatever, right? So again, Bostic over there, um, you know, keeping it real for us, right? Keeping it real, trying to make it interesting. Um, yeah, gotta love the guy. Gotta love the guy. He's just yeah, he's walking confusion. Is the best way to say it. But anyway, Jolt's big New Zealand data tonight. Again, you can see last night. Aussie came in exactly as expected, and again, seeing the Aussie down 74 pips. We expected it to be kind of something along those lines, and that's kind of what we're seeing. Um, Today, We know what we got tomorrow morning. We got ECB president speaking first thing in the morning, 4:15. So we'll see. We have OPEC plus meetings tomorrow as well. Which again, OPEC plus is always one of those. Hey, what are they going to say? They're going to mention anything about potential cuts, right? Um, are we going to see anything along the lines of, maybe, based off demand's increasing. I think big things that we're going to see right now. I mean, we've seen oil pull back a little bit, right? Oil has pulled back from, God, where are we talking here? Oil's pulling back from like 92, 93. I think we touched 95 at one point, all the way back down in the mid 88s, right? Um, so yeah, I feel like they can make a comment. I don't think they're changing. I think they're going to say there's still a lot of instability there. We went from 95 to 88 in like 2 weeks. That's not stable. That's not stable pricing at all. And it's, oil is collapsing. We should continue the cuts into next April, like something along those lines. They're going to try to support it so it becomes stable because their mandate is, stability in the energy market, right? It's not quite the most stable thing, right? So we'll see. And then obviously non-employment change, right? The ADP version of NFP, and then obviously ISM services still hold above 50. Not going to make that big of a difference either way. So yeah, little craziness there. Now VIX was a little choppy yesterday, up and down, and then today you're seeing the VIX raise back up again. And again, the statements that the Fed has made is kind of like right, So yeah, I think it's a little confusing for people what they actually mean holding it long. Like again, the market is still just completely just flabbergasted that, oh my God, we're not going to cut. We were supposed to cut 0.75 this year. I don't think we were ever supposed to become, the Fed never said that. Bostic's even saying we're going to hold rates for a long time, right? The market is like, oh my God, I can't believe that, right? So again, I don't know what the heck all those experts were looking at, thinking where they were coming up with what they were doing. But again, they were completely wrong. I'm not sure on that one. Now the dollar is surprising. Now yesterday we continued to grind. We had a level of like, yeah, there's probably some sellers in here, and it smashed through it. It went up, it went down, it went up. It kind of pulled back and used it again, and then used that as a takeoff point. We're at 107 right now. If you had asked me like 10 years ago, hey, are we ever going to hit 107? I mean, we literally, the common area was a range between 93 and 98, and then anytime we got to 98, things got smashed back down again. And again, I understand why we're up this high, but 107, that's really, really high, right? Is it justified? No. You talk about, what's coming down the road, and I mentioned it yesterday. Again, an expensive dollar, yeah, it's got its perks, right? But at the same time, remember, the way that the currency market works is when your country's bad, you lower your interest rate. It makes your exports stimulate your overall economy, and it helps you because people want what you have, right? That's why Japan, people love buying stuff, made in Japan, made in China, because it's cheap, right? It's cheaper for us to purchase it there than it is to get it here. That's why a lot of the manufacturing goes. So it's not really good that we're this high. And again, if there's a recession in a couple years, it's going to make complete sense. And there's going to be a lot of finger pointing. Oh, it's his fault. It's the fault of what's happening right now, right? It's the fault of what's happening right now. And the crazy thing is, strong as the dollar is right now, people are, looking like, yeah, the economy's not in a bad place. Yeah, it's going to get worse, right? Because it is so high. Now, the indices today, because of that hawkish nature, all of them are currently in the red. Well, I am the least so, but everything else is about 0.5% down. You can see Apple and Tesla down. Commodities, dollar, it's kind of flat from yesterday, but it's definitely on the high side, 0.03. You're seeing commodities, all commodities are up, right? Oil up back in the 89, right? We were at that 80, we touched 88, we're back at 89.35. Natural gas, it's up 1.7%, but you know what? Yesterday we were talking about 290s, right? We're at 288, so I mean there was a big drop and it's retracing a little bit, but yeah, it's kind of doing what it should, right? It's going down, right? 288 is better than 290, so it is going in that right direction. Gold. Gold basically flat. We're holding right at that 1827, 1828 range, that 1830 range. Again, silver, little bit of a rebound back up to that 2122. Again, 2150 is probably more of a medium point. It is up today 1%, where gold is just flat. I think it's trying to get into a more beneficial area. So those kind of, again, commodities overall, again, looking at the dollar is what we have up right now. You look at this and you're like, man, where we are is this, the right or the wrong area, right? Um, it's really hard to say, right? It's really hard to say if gold and silver are in the right spot. Holding the rates there really control. I mean, Bostic's statement about, we gotta, we still have a long way to go. Um, Again, I agree with him. I agree with him. But does that mean that gold and silver now they're going to be able to start moving? Does gold and silver believe that what Bostic is saying is correct? And right now it looks like, again, silver starting. It was at 1. Now we're 0.75. So starting to deteriorate. Um, and again, is it deteriorating because of Bostic's statements? Are the big question. So yeah, we'll see. Like I said, that jolt state is really going to mess a lot up in 10 minutes. All right, let's go across the Aussie dollar. Also, yesterday we talked about a target down here. We said, hey, listen, make sure you get out. There's a lot of grinding. You can see the 786. We were not interested. We were sitting right here. We're like, listen, we're on this level. We're basing. Again, we'll give it a little bit of a hiccup, but not going to stop it. And again, we look for overall targets down here. And if we can, if we can get some type of a confirmation pattern, maybe take it long. But for right now, it's a target. Hence why it's in black. And you can see, what did it do? It came down, it bounced, it came up, base, 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 base. Finally broke through, came back and needed it again, and then continued to chop. Now, the target got hit, and then it kind of bounced a little bit, and then kind of dropped. And now we're kind of stabilized as of about 2 o'clock this morning. So with where we are right now, where do we go with the Aussie, right? Again, we know why the Aussie dropped. Again, they held. We expected it to be a weak data point. It came in right up here. So it dropped. So we can make some adjustments with it. Again, a little bit of a Harry Potter over here, right? We can take this off. Let's pull this up. I'm going to take that one off. These were the Harry Potters from the other day. Let's just clean this all the way up. And again, that last one, technically a Harry Potter, but let's pull it. We're kind of in that Harry Potter right now. If you're not in it, it's already too late, so there's no point talking about it. But where we are right now, we do have a bottom that's okay. It's all right. It didn't really explode out of it. If you look up, there's a lot of little hiccups, right? Little pullback, right? Impulse correction, strong impulse, a little bit of a correction. There's a level up there. The real big thing we're needing now, again, we got to get through jolts. We're kind of in an area right now. I mean, again, this is one of those ones. If you could get like a cheap option on it, you could take a cheap option long. You could take a cheap option long, but again, it's already starting to move up. The question is it moving up for a continued push to the downside? So we're not really near anything close. I mean, the 23s here, there is a base there. I mean, I guess you could look at that one. Maybe if this one doesn't get blown up today, if we just, if we start to push back down again, this could be something that we potentially look for, obviously the ISM services and the non-farm data tomorrow. Again, if anything right now, again, it looks like it wants to pop. Again, it's they're bringing in dollar weakness before that move. So again, maybe this is the early news move already starting to kind of take off at 10 o'clock. So it's there. Overall, as far as where the Aussie goes, I think bringing this one up to a 4 hour makes the most sense. Looking for kind of strong levels. And right now, again, we can look back, just throw a horizontal line on this one and say, okay, what do we got on a 4 hour basis, right? Cycling it back, this is what we're looking for on the opposite side. Okay. On a 4 hour basis, we do have a level there. There is a push. So we know we're kind of turning off something. It's a level. It's an old level. There's kind of a Harry Potter down to the 6210. Let's see if I drop it to 2 hours. It's a little bit more clear. Hmm. Let's throw that on with a red because we know we got a little Harry Potter there. But at the same time, we know that we do have a little bit of a base there. Change this to black, and then we'll see what it looks like. Pull that one off. There we go. Yeah. Uh, Hold on one sec, guys. Um, So we know why we're bouncing off the level here. We can see it on a 2-hour basis. Again, when we drop back down again, we can see kind of where the play is. Now, with news coming in 10 minutes, again, does it make sense why it turned here? Absolutely. You know, when we look back, we found that on a 4-hour, 2-hour, we were able to refine it just a little bit. So it makes sense why we're here. Again, with the grind that should have been a target. So we're there right now. It is stabilizing in front of the zone, which, you know, tends to be, you know, something that it will do. Again, it shows that there are definitely buyers in there. With news in 8 minutes, it's a little bit hard to do it. Now, I kind of hope that the dollar is really, I hope it's really strong data, right? I hope we can continue this trend down. The reason why is because we know with this red line here, we know that we have a racetrack scenario here, right? We know that we got a little bit of room to run down here. So, you know, whoops. Wow, you can't even see that one. It's way too late. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. I can't on mine. There we go. I forgot. It's like, um, we know we got a scenario here. So I kind of want to, I'm kind of hoping that it's the data is strong enough that we can punch this kind of all the way down, right? And we can slice through the level. Like we really need some power. Slice through this and then kind of start to kind of hiccup and pull back again. And that's where again we break this zone, we pull back. That's where we get a Harry Potter trade out of it. So we're kind of there right now. Again, I'm wondering if this is moving a little bit early. Maybe we come up and we smash off the top side. But I think right now the two areas that we look for, and we'll find out in 10 minutes, are we going to get potential short in here? Because again, even if the data is crappy and we see this pop up a little bit with dollar weakness, I'm sorry, we got hawkish statements. We're hearing about hawkish statements and the dollar pushing forward. I think a little bit of jolt data is not going to affect it too much, and I think it turns and rolls. I think that's an important level, and then we look for these two. So we can revisit this one in 6 minutes. Um, yeah, yeah, I think those two are the ones we're looking for. So we'll revisit this one a little bit. All right, dollar yen. So you can see here, profit target one. Look at it, came right down and it based. Look at the basing right here. We talked about that level. There you go. There's your basing on the level. And again, this is why it's a grind. Grind, 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 right through the profit target one. So profit target 1, 2 hit. Then it came down, it loaded up ahead of time, and then boom, the news came out, smash target number 2. Okay, so it was pulling up away. It needed the news to touch it. And then again, it kind of Harry Pottered off. We knew that we were going to have another piece down here. So do the same thing. Let's clean up some of this trade here. Again, we kind of smashed through it. It's fine. The next level is all the way down here. So let's clean this level. Let's clean this level. Let's clean this level. We'll leave that right now. This 78 got touched. We can run this one. Run this one all the way up to here. It's fine. We're so close to the 78.6. So many wicks. Ugh. So many wicks in that one. All right. So there's a confirmation there, but I'm not like in love with that zone. It's all right. Hmm. Um. So nothing exciting here. Again, using fibs to help kind of look for any basing levels for the like extra one up. Um. I don't really. There's nothing in there that screams like, yeah. I mean, the best one on here would be the 78.6 touch level, but I don't put a lot of faith in the 78.6. You know, other people do, but it's not my favorite. Um, so I guess the big thing I'm looking for on this one right now, and again, we're seeing the same thing. We're seeing a little bit of an Aussie surge, but I'm wondering if it's a little bit premature. I kind of need this one to move, and will it? I mean, it's got the yen in there, right? Um, the yen obviously helps, right? Um, hmm. Yeah, I mean, hmm. I think that. Yeah. All right, so the yen is good. The yen will help us. Sorry, I'm trying to move this thing. Even with a pop, though, I'm not really excited about any of these things. So I kind of want the yen to just slam this down, take this zone out, and come all the way down. So kind of the best thing I'm looking for right now would be this 93.74. It's a level that we talked about. Oops. It's kind of a level we talked about in the past, right? Looking for a bounce. It's got a little bit of room to run, so I don't know that it's going to hit it. It's got about 90 pips to go. I mean, can this news drive this 90 pips? Absolutely sure, right? Absolutely can. Will it? I don't know. 90 may be a little bit much. It's got a daily ATR of 83. So kind of looking for a grind. Maybe we may see this. It may, I mean, this may be the move right here. I think this is very aggressive. It is driving right into it before the news in 3 minutes. So I think it's pretty aggressive. It doesn't really align with necessarily a fib level. If that zone was sitting at the 23, if it was kind of up here, I like that one better. And maybe that's what it means. Maybe we run up to here, right? Maybe will turn into a 23-6 base trade. Maybe the news spikes it. But right now, I would not place a trade on this one ahead of the news. It's too close, and we're not in a level that really makes a whole lot of sense. So let's look at the euro dollar real quick. Euro dollar, look, it did not bounce off that level. We were looking for the confirmation, right? We drew this and said, okay, we're looking for a confirmation, then a push down, and that's kind of what we're getting, right? We didn't get the confirmation. And let's go through that just real fast before the news. Again, there's not much I can do. Just run back up again. When we came down, we got a green, which is awesome. We got a red that did not go below the green, but then the green, next one failed. And then the red pushed lower. So we got a green, awesome. The red went below, blew it up. Green, the next red went below, blew it up. Green, the red did not go above, but the green did not go above, and then the red screwed it up, right? Green, the red went below, screwed it up. We did get it here, right? We did get a green, red, green, but we were pulling right back into the old zone. So it was kind of pulling that Harry Potter off a broken zone, which again was really our target, not necessarily a bounce. We said if it hits this level, target first, wait for confirmation. The confirmation didn't come in until over here, in which case, where are we going to go long? Into the prior level? Not really. So target hit. I'm gonna pull that one out. Good thing about this one is now we'll leave this here just to see again if this takes off down. Great. I'm not catching this one. So, okay, 30 seconds. We'll see what this one is in 30 seconds because it doesn't matter. Whatever I say, it's gonna change in the next 30 seconds. So, we'll see here. 15, 15, 15, 15. 7 seconds. What is it going to be? It's like rolling the dice here. It's like, oh, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Oh, here you go, buds. Worked out perfectly. Ooh, Tahoe school bus here. Come on, you know the data. Come on, stop playing with my emotions. Buds, I can't do anything right now. All right, come on. I know you have it. There we go. Oh, look at that. They adjusted it down, right? They adjusted it down, and then bam, it went up over 1 million. So yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna go right over to that. Yeah, it's gonna go down. Look at that. It's gonna Harry Potter right off of it. Yeah, I wanted to see what this one does. Yeah. Look at that. Wow. So I guess their forecast was off just by a little bit. So this will probably not be great for the indices overall today. They're already pretty deeply in the red. I'm assuming that trend continues today because that data is just way too high. Um, you look at this, we haven't been up here for a while. And they're like, oh my God, look, it's finally coming. The labor market is cooling down. If we would have just held at 8.8, that's still a hot market. Jumping up 9.6. Woo. Yeah, that's fiery. That's not hot. That's fiery, right? So yeah, not overall. Again, it kind of makes sense. I kind of knew now. Now it makes a little sense. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, remember we said we needed this to slice through. It should have enough momentum now to be able to slice through here. So again, I'm okay with that one. I think that's decent. Also, yen, we should be able to drive down with the yen power in this one too, right? Again, gold should not be happy with this one. Yeah, gold's down to minus, was flat. Now it's down minus 2.8. Silver's down to 0.4, so it's lost 0.6 already this morning. So yeah, good there. Good. Again, funny that it is Harry Pottering off again, and it actually went into a zone. There's a zone right here. So again, if you were trading this one news-wise, that's what you look like. But it's the same zone. It's more just a near-term level. So yeah, so that's good. So let's see. I'm gonna bring this up to a 4-hour. Let's find something big here. All right, so we're definitely in an area. Let's drop this down a little bit. So we're definitely in an area where we have buying pressure coming in, right? Quick spike down, buyers found up. Spike down, buyers found up, and it's higher, right? The zone. Unfortunately, the zone here is kind of hidden. Let's see. Can I see it on a 1 hour? Let's see. What are you all angry about? So this being lower than this one is kind of like it's more of a drop to the downside. So there is a level sitting right there, right? And then looking almost that. All right, so let me explain what we got here. So we got a tested level, kind of front run over here. This is what we're running into. All right, so how much do we have? I'm on an hourly too. Another 21. All right, so looks like that will be the grind. You do it. Daddy's busy right now. Here, get this dinosaur. Get this dinosaur. Um, yeah. So I'd like to see the grind down. I think when we come in down here, I kept stop. Here, you want Weasel? Weasel soccer match? Whoops. Step on it. There's Gecko. Go in the other room. He's probably gonna melt down in a second. So again, it goes down. I think 20. I think we look for a potential reversal down here. I think it's very important. Will it be a 10:30 reversal? Probably not. This is probably a later this afternoon type thing. But I think if it comes down and it starts the base, the Europeans have kind of set this one up. European Open is right here. Okay. So we watched the Europeans drive it down and then loaded it up right before the news release to punch it back down again. So what, you want to sit on my lap? You can sit on my lap if you want. Here, you want to play with this? Here, there's your cord too. Um, Unfortunately, this came from a higher time frame level, so I do think this is going to give us a little bit of a hiccup. I do think it comes down again. I think it's probably grindy down there as people absorbing this and like, what do we do with jolts? Wait, why was that so bad? What does this matter? Oh my god, that's labor. Oh, okay. So I think it comes down probably base. So here's what I'm looking for the euro. Again, it's too late. Great little news trade in there. Stop. Get off the keyboard. Let's put this here. So here's where I'm kind of looking and kind of thinking for euro setups right now. Let's see how much this one's short. 20. Only got 58 pips. Okay. So stop. I'd like to see this grind down today. Could we potentially roll off a 104.36 or 104.37? Just change this up. Yeah. If it comes down in bases, if we break through 104, 103.95, right? Again, I think we look to take this one short. Do I think down here we're going to have a lot of buying pressure? Yes. Okay, the closer we get to parity, obviously we get more and more and more, but people are very, very excited about parity, so they tend to send it down that way as well. So I think that will make a difference. I think throughout today with that data, I think people are really going to get it. That again, we got a lot of room to run. So right now, potential reversal here. We probably have 2 hours before it's a position, and then again, looking for a break of this one. And again, that may come in over here, the services data. And the forecast is lower. If it's not lower, that should give us more dollar strength coming in, as well as the ADP number. So yeah, kind of a setup again. There was a small one here. You could have taken it. I don't even know what the risk level on it was. 13. So it wasn't, again, you could have taken either one. Technically, here was the Harry Potter entry, right? There was the Harry Potter entry. It says 15 here. There you go. 1 to 3 is right there. That's 304. So you should be able to get down. And again, here's the actual entry. Here would have been kind of a news entry, and you would have had a little bit less risk. You probably done a 10 for 30. It's probably, let's see. Yeah, 10's right there. So that's where the top is. There's your 10. And then that's 3.7, 306. You want my phone? Um, he likes watching my phone for some reason. Lefty and scoop. Here you go, buds. This one? Okay. Let's turn it down. Okay. So again, this one is almost done from the news. I just traded it. Again, I think potential bounce, profit taking coming at 1 at 437. If we can break through 1 at 395. Again, dropping below 94 will be a big deal. People will be really into that one. So look for that as well. Euro pound, nice spike up. Did it grab the 78? It did. And again, there are people here. I'm not interested in it. Again, looks like monstrous moves on this one. This move is 20 pips, 25 pips. So not as big as it actually appears on it's probably more like this. Again, we're sitting in the middle of the range. Yesterday we talked about 87.05, 86.34. You can see we're basically, I mean, here, let's see exactly where the difference is. Here, I'll just use a 10 o'clock one. That's 10:30, 10 o'clock. We opened here. We are 1.7 pips from where we were yesterday. So a little spike up at 20, a little spike back down. Kind of the same window. We're still tracking right at that 50% retracement tool. Neither the pound nor or the euro are really in a strong scenario or in a strong position right now where I feel like it matters too much, right? Just nothing that really is, that I'm like, ooh, right? Now, euro yen. So euro yen obviously whipping back and forth. Yesterday we drew a level 157. We knew it was touched. Now, this is a little dangerous. We kind of hit it here late last night, and then we came down, and then Europeans took it over here, and they kind of drove it in. It kind of got stuck, and then all of a sudden the European data popped it up, and now the U.S. data popped it right back down again. So it's a level. It kind of Harry Potter. It missed it right there. I had an alert on that one. And I was wondering it didn't trigger. Let's pull it. I knew it was going to go through and chop. I'll leave that one right now. So this level's probably stop. This risk is probably at risk for failing right now. One, two, three. I'm gonna take this one off because again, even with this here, this, I don't want you guys to draw attention to it and be like, I'm gonna scalp that one. I'm gonna go in quick. Let's pull this off. There's been so many pushes in here. Um, let's run and see. There's probably something there. Um, could be worse. Could be worse. We could shrink it just a little bit. We'll go to the bottom of those candles. Let's stop. See, right there. Yes, that's B. But you told me you want to watch this. You want the other thing? You ADH. What do you want? There. This. There. Baby cartoons. All right, so next little trade set up on here. It's a 16 for 50 in the other direction. We need some help, obviously, with the euro coming back up again. We could potentially get it the next day or two, but right now we're seeing the yen kind of drive back down again because of the U.S. news. So we do have a little bit of a trade here that we, again, it's marked off in the red. The problem with this one is we'd punched through it multiple times, right? Actually, I guess we were talking about it in the other direction. It has pushed it pretty deep, but there's nothing below. Let's remove it because I'm not a big fan of it right now. Geez, I'm gonna clear till down here. Yeah. Right. Delayed response. Um, Delayed response. The dollar's not. I mean, the dollar spiked up as it should, and then kind of paused. Yeah, it's the dollar. It's moving there. Hmm. I wonder if. Oh. Oh. I wonder if that's. Ah. So you may say, is that true? Is that really that much movement? Did that move 290 pips in one candle? Why, yes, it did. And if you look at it, did the Aussie dollar move tons? No. Did the euro dollar move a little bit? Right, little spike up and down. Right. About dollar CAD, nothing. Dollar Swiss, a little bit up, a little bit down, but yet, boom, big drop, boom, big drop, boom, big drop, boom, monstrous drop. Um, right there, Japanese yen traded above 105 or 150. There you go. So remember we talked about how 150 somewhere in here you're going to see something in there, and then all of a sudden it's like, what happened? I believe that you just got to witness what an intervention. Yeah, and that's what they look like, boys and girls. Right? 300 pips in what was that? 5 minute candle? Yeah, 5 minute candle. Actually, if we go to 1 minute, yeah. Well, it took 3 minutes, but 5 minute candle, 300 pips. Yeah. So don't be surprised. Again, we were talking about it 105. That's why we had 150. I'm sorry, I keep saying 105. 150. And we said, hey, listen, 150 is going to be a big deal, right? We said 130 was big, 135, but 150 is a huge deal. And look at that. The second it traded above, wham, straight in. I'm curious to see if there'll be like a comment about it, right? And the funny part is, it didn't come in when the data came out. It came in just a little bit after the data came out, right? So yeah. So I believe that's probably a little bit of a, you know, BOJ intervention there. So it happens. It's yeah, it's fine. It's good. Right? It's good. Um Not much else to say about that one. So yeah, so this one again, we can take it out. They've now cleared down. Let's go and see kind of what we can do with this one. Again, not every day that happens, but at the same time, yeah, it just ran out of steam. So most likely we are cleared now. If it dropped to here, we are probably clear all the way down to probably down here at this level. Um, right. So yeah. So really, until we how much is it gonna move? So overall, again, we will see a bit of retracement as people went down this way. I mean, it stopped a million people out. Some people would have been trying to get short on things on there. So again, there's probably trust me, when it was here and it came all the way down, there's absolutely some profit taking that occurred here on the industrial level. Remember, this is nothing but this reaction. There's no way the average eye is going to get in. Again, that's what big money dumping things look like. And again, it's 150. So, oh, stop, put it down. Um, the euro yen right now not necessarily going to be tradable. Again, we're going to see how long it takes for this to kind of retrace back again. The big dump, typically what happens, you see it dump down and people are like, oh, interventions don't work. It's like, well, they kind of don't, but they kind of do. When they hit the button down here, they can buy it back down here cheaper. When it comes back up again, they can also profit on that at the same time. So again, central banks are in this to make money as well are companies. So again, there'll be a lot of volume kind of in this whole little bit here. Really, there's not, unfortunately, because it is such a big candle, we're not going to be able to do a lot with it. There may be another short that comes in right around this level right here. Again, we're kind of hoping for a pop up and then a short. Unfortunately, when big money dumps, big money dumps. So there'll be a lot of people who lost a ton of money this morning. I'll tell you right now. Something like that, because it just goes so fast. It is what it is. And here's the dollar play. Again, Harry Pottering, we talked about coming back down. It looks like it actually used the 930 candle to come back up and grab it. Again, these are standard rules. We talked about getting a confirmation target first. Green, once it blew through, the long trade was in, or it was out. So again, it was a target first. The target was gone. Then we talked about coming in, basing. It kind of gave us a base a little bit low, but you wouldn't use the low side. So again, it based it, used it, it went down. It's over. Nothing you can do about it now. And again, it was a level that was kind of backstopped by the 23.6. Trade's kind of done now. If you hadn't gotten in that one, there's not much we can do with it. Let's look back to the next level. Yeah, see, look, all these wicks here. So this one is done. You're out on that one. That was 33 pips. Let's pull that one. Let's extend. We're going to put this here, but this is kind of like a no. It's a huge level. It's a huge level. 25 pips. Target first. So we're going to use this as a target first, or a target only at this point. So we are looking for this one to reverse potentially here. Again, guys, this is a target 120.32. Again, we should see this one continue to push to the downside. I like it to the downside. Again, I like the dollar strength. That data was big. So come on, I want to see. I love it. OPEC plus shows no signs of easing oil. Right. Okay. Not surprised. Record low. I'm shocked there's no comment on this one yet. But look at this. 212, 104. They're biggies. They're biggies. Look for this to push down. Am I interested in taking another short? No, it's already kicked in. It's already gone lower. So yeah, yeah, good there. Yeah, it's so funny. Up. Back to our target level. Again, there was your little Harry Potter on this one. So this one was done as of yesterday. Kind of Harry Potter is out right there. Let's see, what can we do with this one now? See, this is going to screw a lot of analysis up today because this is what happens when people play with the markets. Funny enough, it used it. Funny though, it did bounce. It bounced. It came back up and mashed it. Let's see. That is out. Yep, it's already out. Um, there. Um. All right. So again, the yen pairs are going to be not the ideal candidates for fun today. Only way I can say it. Not the ideal candidates for fun and excitement. Right. Oh, what are you doing? No. No. What are you doing? We don't do that. Hold on. He's thrown phones around now. There you go. Sorry about that. He like tried to use something that had no weight to it, and then everything went sliding off the desk. So yeah. So unfortunately, right now, because of an adventure like that, we need to wait for it to come back down. Could there be potential sellers coming in up here? Yes. Only because it is now a 61.8. Is it the best of levels? No. Again, any level that's created by something like this big of a move and an intervention with money, a little bit hard to go. Right. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD data again. We are already sitting there high. You can see it punched up again. I think for this one, we knew we had sellers up there. Right now, we're still kind of holding. We kind of hit the peak 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning. The Europeans really didn't do much. They kind of drove it up, and we're in the same area. I think overall, right now, again, it's kind of strong dollar, but it's also again strong kind of oil in this one. So, it's up a little bit. Again, we're really, really high. We really need something to come in that kind of shows some dollar weakness. And unfortunately, there's just right now, there's nothing really that would signify the dollar being weak. So high on the curve, my opinion is if we can get a decent red, green, red that's not news associated. This one had a little tiny one. The green went up, and then obviously the red pushed down, but that was more of a news based push. It's not really. It's gut reaction. It's not necessarily trending, and we're kind of holding firm up here. Is this going to be the new top for the day? Maybe, but I honestly think based off of how strong that Jolts data was, I think we can push higher. Um, we're above a 78, and again, this is the next. I'm going to mark this one off. I know we did it on a lower time frame. That's why we're going to look at that one. But something along those lines is the next line we got. And you can see, we're in a 4 hour. We're running into sellers, and we've been here before. It's not. This is not the freshest level, but right now I'm kind of looking for, if we grind and look at it, happens to be at 138 right there. So I'm going to say that that's kind of our upward target. We got room to run on it. We got 75 pips. It's got a 76 ATR. So again, I think with today, if we can grind through the sellers in this area for tomorrow, it has the ability to go just a bit more. So, it's there. Um, yeah. Dollar Swiss. Again, a lot of chop. We had marked off a level here and we grabbed it. Um, we finally chopped through this level. We mentioned this, 92.43. It made it up to 92.44, so just past where we were talking about, and then immediately retreated back down again. Now, is it a dollar week base today? Not really. I mean, that data was really, really strong. Unless there's a comment from somebody that's like, "Oh, we already knew this. We've already factored this in. It's no big deal." Um, Overall, I think all it's doing is coming back down and trying to grab some more buyers to help punch it through. And you can see it's stumbling. There's no great level here. There is a little bit of a test right at the 91.64, right at the 50% mark. Here, I can adjust this up just a little bit. You can see the 51, the 50 is what it's kind of bouncing off of and basing. I think that's probably if we do pull back down, it'll be the next area where buyers come in. I don't think I'm ready to short the dollar Swiss. Again, weak Swiss data, strong dollar move. I mean, strong dollar data today. I don't really want to kind of try to flip this one and pick a top. Maybe tomorrow this will be overextended and we finally get a little bit of something that's dollar weakness. But right now, I wouldn't be looking for that one. This one is obviously not dollar weakness. This is obviously, yeah. See, look, another article: Japanese yen weakens past psychologically significant $1.50 level, and it did. What happened? It peaked above and it went to 16 pips above, and then all of a sudden, what happened? Straight through the floor, 300 pips down. Yeah. Thank you, BOJ. Thank you, BOJ. But as far as analysis goes, again, this is why it's so important to have a stop loss. Had you been like, oh my God, that's such strong data, I'm going long without a stop loss, you could have blown. This is an account blower right here. And again, top to bottom. $285 pips. So I lied. It wasn't 300. It was 285 pips. But I told you yesterday, watch this 150. I believe that the Bank of Japan will intervene somewhere around this level. That 150 is such a big psychological level. That's why everybody else was surging and this was having such a hard time, right? They were probably putting the orders in. But again, circuit breaker blew as soon as it hit 150 and just went all the way to the downside. So, yeah, it's there. It is there. Yeah, I wish I could tell you more on that one. Called it yesterday, but again, and guys, even though I said watch the 150 mark, it's not like I was putting sells in there at the 150 mark. Again, playing with something like intervention is extremely dangerous. I mean, it's like, oh, we're gonna throw this super high octane fuel that will create a nuclear explosion if it hits. I mean, yeah, it's a home run if you do it, but again, the risk level is just so high. And again, that's why we marked the 150 off and had red sitting up there. I said they are going to intervene at some point. Now, we expected this originally, again, in all fairness, we'd also talked about interventions. We talked about 130, how big that was. And then, the BOJ is like, 130 is not the end of the world. 135 is kind of where it starts to hurt us, right? Again, 130, we mentioned 100, 150s, 125s, 175s are all important. 130, 135, yeah, they're important, but they're not as big psychologically. 150 for the dollar yen is a huge, it's just like 200. If we were able to rally up, they would be like, oh, 200 is a huge psychological thing. And it would be. It would be bigger than 150, right? Same thing. If the pound yen is at what 180 right now. When it approaches 200, they'll start talking about that being a big level. Now, it's not, you know, if you talk about 200 in the pound yen versus 200 in the dollar yen is going to be bigger, more important. Okay, so that one is all screwed up. Crude futures, again, we just heard that it's starting to kind of rally back again. Yesterday, I mentioned that, listen, it's probably not going to pull back. It went all the way to profit. Nothing I can do about that one now. So let's clean this up and drag this one all the way down. You can see right now, absolutely some selling going on. There's your 23.6 level. Again, we base through here in the bottom. Um, we'll see. We'll see what happens with this one. Again, it is a 23.6 level. Fib traders love that 23.6 level, particularly in oil. Again, OPEC is kind of messing this one up right now. But again, if you're going to take this one through the day, 1 to 3 looks something along those lines, right there. So yeah, it had to push down. There's levels in there. I don't love this one. It's not as clean as it could be. But again, it was at 23.6. People are waiting for that. There is a level of base in there. Actually, it should be right there. I was a little bit off on this one. Sorry. The 1 to 3 isn't as bad. All right. Natural gas. Look at that. We talked about it breaking through 190. What happened? It went higher. So we were looking for a short here. Now, again, very, very large level in natural gas. And we talked about that yesterday. Being large, we wanted to know, when it was able to break through and if it was going to be able to push. Again, big level. Did the basing come in here? Not really, right? The basing's there. We're still looking for this to push back down to the 268 level. Um, Look, natural gas prices arrive even as forecasts see milder whatever moving forward. So again, people are trying to short, right? And that's what's happening. It's the short squeeze punching higher. So again, I think we look for a short. Overall, again, in the post contract rollover realm, if we are able to go up to 297, pull the trigger on that one as well. I liked the decent level and it was tested. So look for that drop. Gold, magically, we have massive movement, but gold is not moving. And all it did was it kind of went up. And again, it's using that old level. It's punching a little bit lower, which is fine. Again, it's a kind of the old Harry Potter level. I don't think the trajectory changes too much with gold today. Again, the intervention was not really a dollar intervention; it was a yen intervention, so it shouldn't move. Again, overall, I think a lot of people are seeing this as dollar strength to fight. I don't think this is able to rally too much farther forward. I think right now it's like, okay, what do we got tomorrow? Again, I'm kind of looking for a comment. If we get a comment about how, oh my God, the job market is continuing to maintain strength. And again, it's not necessarily that a million people are getting hired back. And again, like that we are that the most robust the economy has ever had. But there's a ton of job openings out there, and again, it's driving inflation. Right? When a lot of people need positions filled, um, who knows? Maybe Ford's going to fire all the current union employees and just hire back all people that are and say it's non-union only. I don't know if they can do that, but I'm sure they would love if they could. But there's a lot of job openings out there, so I don't know. I don't know if that affects it or not. I don't know if Ford does that. I'm sure that would piss off the unions even more, but I don't know. Maybe, maybe. Um, but at the same time, hey, the government didn't close down, so there's not a lot of unemployed people there either. So we'll see. But I think this basically holds and stabilizes. I don't think it's going to be too much in here. Silver, kind of the same thing. We just talked and we just came back up and grabbed that level. We had kind of that alert sitting there. I think we really flirt around this 21 level right now. 21 to 2150 looks like it's going to be the new 2050. So it looks like this will be our new kind of our new channel would be right there. Right, we'll change this to purple. Right, looks like that's probably where our new channel. Right, tomorrow's data should help a little bit, so we'll see. As far as the indices go, let's drop this down. We'll do this one real quick, guys. I know I'm a little bit over today. Again, dollar stabilizing, but everybody knew that it was there. You can see the VIX is like, holy crap. VIX is not liking it. Everything's accelerating. Funny enough, the market knew. 9 o'clock, 9:15, 9:30, 9:45, and then 10 o'clock. What happened when that JOLTS data came out? We always talk about look in the markets and see what happens for the hour and a half, right? Look to see what happens for the hour and a half before the news comes out. What happened an hour and a half before the news came out? It drove it straight up. to get hammered back down again. So was there an opening print today? The answer is no. It was already breaking through lows. There was no tested level, so there was nothing inside of ES. But at the same time, with something as important as Jolt's data, today would have been one of those days to kind of sit out opening print based trades. 100, don't feel bad about it. 100% the correct play on this one. Because at the end of the day, that's what the Fed was looking at. Okay. So again, no setup, not surprising. Market set it up. Market knew exactly what was going to happen. NQ looks exactly the same. NQ again. Yeah, what when I'm done? I'm almost done. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. It drove it up. It ended up coming back and kind of using it. You want to eat? Okay. As soon as Daddy's done, almost ready. Okay, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. We'll go eat. Go get your bowl. Go get your bowl. Here, where's your bowl? Go find your bowl. Go get your bowl. Same idea. Market drove it higher. Again, here was the target we're looking for to break yesterday. Drove it up. News came out. Drop. And I think this is a 100% right call. Again, would I have taken the shorts on these? No. I mean, I assumed that the data was going to be better and it was going to be a big short, but it wasn't sitting in a level, so I'm just not going to give you a gut feeling and say, yep, take it short. Same thing. Drove it right up, 9:45, 10 o'clock, right back down. Russell's push was not as easy, right? The 9:30 was the chop in here. And again, no new levels. So there's nothing to short over and nothing, but again, big push. So they all deserve to be read. Again, if people are worried about if the Fed's going to raise again or just hold for a long time, the JOLTS data today is the most powerful bit of data that we have gotten in the last 2 weeks as far as what the Fed should do next. Again, the hot labor market has been something that the Fed has mentioned multiple times. Today, especially because they forecasted that this was supposed to, and there was an adjustment last time. So it wasn't even that, hey, listen, the forecast and you know what, it came in lower. It was lower, but not, again, they were a little bit off, right? And not much. I mean, it could have been much worse, but that it had broken through. This is a big gain. This is a big gain, especially when the forecast was expected to be lower. So it was a double gain. Strongest data we've had for a while. So overall, the indices probably going to stay maintained red today. People will be trying to be short. And again, that JOLTS data is really that strong data. Most powerful thing we had out there. My question is, did we get any comments yet? Smash low. Oh, there you go. Smash lower and sign of intervention. Called it yesterday. Woo! It's there. So again, big psychological level. All right. And just know the reason again that I was able to say that is because I've been looking and dealing with currency charts for, it's crazy to say this, like 20 years, right? That makes me sound really old. But like I've been looking and trading currencies. And again, in the beginning, I was not a full-time trader, guys. I just dabbled and looked at this. But in watching this over the years, you kind of see these things, and it's, things like this, the psychological levels like this. I don't have a crystal ball. I didn't know that there was the BOJ did not call me yesterday and say, hey, listen, tell people there could potentially be an intervention at this level. But that's exactly what happened. Because again, psychological level, monstrous thing. And now even new goes, there could have been an intervention. There was. That's the only way to explain a 300 pip in 5 minutes. So it is what it is. All right, let's go do today's drawing. I'm going to give this one 15 seconds. I know we're a little bit over. I apologize again. It's very rare we get to see an intervention live like that. Why didn't they? Why didn't they call me? You know why they didn't call me? Because they knew I knew already. That's why. Right? They knew I knew already. And here's the crazy part about it. I'm not the only person in the world that knew. Do you think banks and institutions out there knew that most likely that was what was going to occur when it hit 150? There are people out there that are a heck of a lot smarter than I am that have been doing this for a lot longer. I mean, like I said, I can say 20 years because, like I said, for the first couple of years, it was off and on. I would do it. I would struggle. Blew up, a couple small, built one currency account when I was younger. Took some major losses. Did the things that normal people do, and then really focused on it for, I guess, the last 10 years, 12 years now. Been something I've been following every single day religiously. So, yeah, it's one of those things. There was so much money made this morning. It's like unbelievable to think about how much money was made at that 150 mark. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. It's probably like I would love to know the true, like how much anything above an individual investor made today. It's going to be insane. All right, here we go. I went a little bit over there. Winner of today's drawing is Ernest. Ernest took it today, but he only got his 25. Right? He only got his 25 today. Right? Lady Luck got him yesterday. But he start. Whoops, not 12. Sorry. There we go. 25. There we go. Yeah. So look for a lot of news mentions today. Again, I'm waiting for some Fed president to talking about the JOLTS data. The intervention's another thing. Isn't that currency manipulation? Absolutely, but everybody does it, and it's acceptable. So, with that, Lady Luck, she win today. She doesn't win every day. Again, Lady Luck doesn't. She wants to share, right? You got to spread it around. Everybody's got to get a piece, right? So, all right, I'm out of here, guys. Sorry I went late. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget the data tomorrow is also very, very important. OPEC meetings, non-farm and services, both big. Again, this employment change. We'll see what it looks like, right? If again, with so many job openings, I'm wondering if this is going to be a little bit lower. And overall, I'd like to see the green day tomorrow, though. So we'll see. With that, I'm out of here. Good trading day today, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.